Hello and welcome once again to Let's Start Cooking. I'm Wayne, and I was asked last week by a young lady if there was a dinner that she could make that we could put in a slow cooker, everything would be included, and it'd be quick, easy, come home from work and it's ready. So the best thing I could tell her was to do a pork loin roast. And this was about a 6-pound roast, and we cut it down. Right now it's about 3.5 pounds. Obviously you can cut whatever you decide family-wise. So we got a nice pork roast. Anything you have left over, you can always cut into boneless chops. And all we want to do is, we're just going to take off any excess fat that you might see. We don't want to go too crazy because we do want some of the fat on here. So we're just going to make sure that there's nothing hanging off of it. Just trim it up a little bit. And we turn it over, make sure that we have nothing straggling off of it. And we want to leave this fat cap on here because that's what's going to give us some of the flavor that we want. So all we're going to do is we're just going to take this, get the lid off of our slow cooker here, and we're actually just going to take this whole roast, and we're not going to do anything to this, and we're just going to place it right in here. And we're just going to leave this fat side up, and we're going to leave it in our roast, in our pan. And what we're going to do is we're going to take some potatoes that we have. Now I used about 5 potatoes. Again, depending on the size of your family, you don't have to go this big. And we're just going to take these and we're just going to chunk these up nice size. And again, we're not looking for small pieces now because this is going to cook all day. So like I said, we're just going to take these and we want nice sized chunks because as these cook, they will shrink down a little bit. But we're not looking to get fancy. It's almost like we're going to make a stew, but we're using a pork loin. And we're going to let this slow cook all day. This can be prepped the night before. You can put this in the refrigerator until you're ready, and then you just take everything out, plug this in. Now for the carrots, you can either cut your own carrots if you want. I just got the regular baby carrots. This is about a 1/2 pound. Again, depending on the size of the family and how much you want to cook, you can go less, you can go more. And I'm just going to take these and I'm going to put them right on top. And that's all we're going to do. We're going to put everything right on top here like this. And then we're going to take 1 medium onion. And we're just going to take this, and we want half-decent sized chunks. Again, we're not looking to make this real small because this is going to cook all day. And obviously, if you don't like that many onions, you don't have to put that many in. Just going to cut these up. And again, we're just going to take these. I'm going to put these right on top. Now I have 2 cloves of garlic. I'm not going to crush these. I just want to crack them. That's all I want to do with these because I'm going to put these in whole because we're going to take these back out. And we're just going to put them right in. And then last but not least, I have 3 cups of chicken broth. Now you can do chicken broth, you can do beef broth, you can even mix them. But you want about 3 cups. And we're just going to dump this right across the top. We don't have to worry about making sure that everything is covered because as this cooks, it's all going to cook down. We're just going to tuck it in a little bit. But that's all that's to this recipe. And like I said, this is going to cook down when we come back. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this on low. Now, if you have time and you're going to be in the house, you can put this on medium and let it cook for about 4 or 5 hours. If you don't have the time and you're going out or you're going to be busy, you can put this on low and you're going to let this sit for about 6 to 7 hours. And you're just going to let it cook off. We're just going to set this on low and we're going to let this go for about 6 to 7 hours. The longer you let this go, the pork will get to a point where it's going to start to fall apart almost like pulled pork. So if that's what you want, you can leave it go that long. If not, let it go for about 4 or 5 hours. It's going to be more than done and then you can slice it. So we're going to be back in about 4 or 5 hours. It's been about 4.5, 5 hours. We've left this just sitting cool down just a hair so I can touch it. And all we're gonna do now is we're gonna remove the lid and we're gonna remove the pork loin and we're gonna set it to the side and let it rest. And then we're gonna remove all the vegetables and we're gonna use for the broth when we're done. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the pork loin. And as you can see, the vegetables cook down a lot and we have a lot of room now in here. And this is when you gotta be a little bit careful because depending on how long you've left this cook, it could fall apart on you, but we didn't go that far. So all we wanna do is we just wanna pick this up. And we're just gonna slowly move it right over here. And we're just gonna let that chill for a little bit while we remove the vegetables, and we're gonna get them out of this pot and we're gonna put them in a nice bowl and we're gonna put them in the oven to keep them warm, and then we're gonna do something with the broth. Once we remove the vegetables from the stock, we're gonna take the stock and we remove 2 cups of it and we're gonna save that. Because what we're gonna do now is we're gonna make a gravy for our pork loin. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take 2 tablespoons of butter and we're just gonna put that in a nice warm pan and we're gonna let this butter melt down. And basically all we're gonna do now is we're gonna make a roux. And once we get our roux done and we melt our butter, we're gonna add our flour and we're gonna let that cook for about a minute. We just wanna get that flour taste out of there. So we're just gonna let this melt down. Once we get our butter melted down, we're gonna dump our flour in, and like I said, we're just gonna make a simple roux. And we just wanna mix this up for like about a minute. We just wanna get the flour taste out. Make sure this is all well mixed up, no lumps. I'm gonna make sure our heat stays a little low because we don't wanna burn this. And once we get this all nice and smooth, I'm gonna take 2 cups of the chicken stock that I removed from our pork, and we're just gonna add this right in. And we're just gonna keep mixing and we're gonna thicken this up. And this is gonna be our gravy for our pork. And all you're gonna do with this is just keep mixing and it's gonna thicken up. Once we get it to this consistency where you can see it's thickened up a lot, we're basically just gonna take this off the heat and we're just gonna get ready to plate everything. So I'll remove this and we'll get all cleaned up and we'll get ready to plate everything for you. Now that we have everything done, all we're gonna do, we're just gonna take some of our vegetables and we're just gonna plate everything up. And like I said, when you're doing this, you can either put as many onions or potatoes or carrots or whatever else you plan on putting in, you're fine. This cooked all day. So we're just gonna plate this up a little bit. And we're gonna take our pork and we're just gonna cut our pork right down and get a nice thin slice. And you can see it's cooked all the way through. And we'll get another one. And we cooked this, like I said, 4.5 hours because we didn't want this to fall apart. If you would have let this go another hour or 2, this would have actually fallen apart on you. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of the gravy that we just made. And remember, this all came from one pot. I'll just put a little parsley on for make everything look nice. And that is your slow cook pork loin. And like I said, everything was stirred in one pot. We left this cook for about 6 hours, 4.5, 5 hours. And when you come home, you're done and it's ready. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like and share. And I hope you're subscribed to the channel. We're so close to our 500 subscriber goal. So I hope you have a great day and we'll see you next week.